you still ain't calling. I left my cell, my pager, and my home phone at the bottom. I sent 2 letters back in autumn, you must not have got them. There probably was a problem with the post office or something. Sometimes I scribble addresses too sloppy when I jot them. But anyways, fuck it, what's been up, man? How's your daughter? My girlfriend's pregnant too, I'm about to be a father. If I have a daughter, guess what I'ma call her? I'ma name her Bonnie.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the first session of class number 1 with the MMM Peak Performance Mental Performance group. I'm super excited to get started with this. This is my first open 8-week class across multiple sports, multiple cities, all of that stuff. So I'm super excited to get after it and to introduce myself and to get to know all of you. The cool part about this session for me is I have some sort of connection with basically everybody that's in here, which is really, really cool. Whether I know you from baseball or from something else, it's super exciting to be able to connect with you now on a different level. For me, I'm going to get into some introductions about myself for things that you might not already know about me. But it's just super exciting to get started with this class. And it's one of these things that I've just been counting down the days for the last month since I announced this class. I'm super excited to move forward with my new format and the new way of doing this course. And I think it's going to be super beneficial, not only to myself for teaching and all that stuff and feeling more confident in the things that I'm teaching, and also for you being able to learn in a different atmosphere, something maybe that you're not used to. So hopping right into things, basically what we're going to talk about today, the battle plan as we like to call it, we're going to talk about who I am. We're going to talk about what the game plan is for these 8 weeks. We're going to talk about our best self and our worst self. We're going to break down our first level. We're going to talk about the 8 keys to peak performance, the number 1 tool in mental performance. We're going to have a reflection, and we're going to learn how to play the ultimate game. Now, that might seem like a lot of stuff up front, but here's the thing. My goal with these sessions, I don't want them to feel like a class for you. Okay, we spend a lot of time in school, we spend a lot of time in lectures. I completely understand that. I've put myself through multiple mental performance courses, multiple baseball coaching courses, and they can take up a lot of time, right? You hop into one. I hopped into one last night. I was in an umpire course. It was 2.5 hours long. We don't need to be spending that much time listening and doing all this stuff. My goal with these sessions is to keep them about 30 minutes long. Okay, I find that for myself and for probably every single one of you, we can't sit still for that long. We don't want to be sitting still for an hour, hour and a half, listening to somebody talk. So my goal with all these sessions is to keep them to about 30, 45 minutes tops. My expectation with this one is it's probably going to be the longest one. Reason for that, we got to get through the introductions, the breakdown of the course, and then get into the material from there. It's super exciting. This course, like I said, I've ran through the 8 weeks before. I've ran through this material before, but this is my first time rebranding it to be kind of like a video game. And here's the cool part. Somebody in this course, I was on a call with them, and I was talking about gamifying being the best version of yourself. And my fiance in the other room kind of overheard it, and she's like, you know what? You should build your program around like video games and be the best version of yourself through a game. And I thought that was just the coolest thing ever. So we literally spent the last 3 weeks revamping this entire workbook, this entire program, making it feel like a video game, kind of old school, but it's super exciting. And I hope you enjoy some of the workbook material. I hope you enjoy the presentation and the things that we talk about over these 8 weeks. If you feel like you could use more confidence, if you could use more focus, more resilience, the material in this program is going to help you move forward so that you can feel better both in your sport and in your life. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about what you do in your sport. Playing baseball, playing hockey, playing other sports, that's something you do. You're also a person, you're a son, you might be a brother. You have other things going on in your life. It's not just about the sport you play. So we want to be the best version of ourselves in everything we do. And that's kind of what we're going to get into with some of this stuff today. So first things first, who am I? Like I said, I've had the privilege of meeting a lot of you through baseball, which is super exciting, but I'm a mental performance coach. Okay, so I was certified under a guy named Brian Kane. And if you look here, I had a bunch of pictures ready to go, but apparently they're not loading for us. Good, that's fine, so what? I'm a mental performance coach. I was certified from a guy named Brian Kane. I've been doing it for about 2.5 years. I really started to dive into it while I was working at a baseball academy in Sudbury. So we decided with some of the teams that were coming in, we were going to start offering mental performance to teams, and I jumped right on that. We were offering 8 weeks, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to put together an 8-week plan, and it just took off from there. I was with a 13U team, and I was just having the time of my life, loving presenting the material, loving giving all this information, and it just built my passion to do this even farther. So every single day for the last 2 years, I've looked for some way to improve in my mental performance. Now, is every day going to be perfect? Is every day going to be the best? No, right? And that's some of the things that we're going to talk about throughout these 8 weeks. I'm from Thunder Bay. I'm actually living back in Thunder Bay now. I lived in Sudbury for a bit, and that's where I met a few of the people in this course. Like I said, I was there working at a baseball academy, which was super exciting. But now that I'm back home, I'm looking to move into my mental performance a little bit more full time. Like I said, this is a passion of mine. This is what I want to do. So I'm doing more and more of this with different hockey organizations, baseball programs, whatever it is. So I'm super excited for that. I have a background playing college baseball. I played at the NAIA level in the University of Winnipeg. We played against teams in North Dakota, Nebraska, all that stuff. Me there, I transformed into a 240-pound, not an athlete. Okay, I went away to school, I moved away from home, and I wasn't the best version of myself. Okay, I threw away my playing career, in my opinion. I didn't work hard. I didn't put in extra work by any means. I actually flunked out of school because my grades were so bad and I just didn't put in any effort. Okay, I'm just calling a spade a spade. Moving forward, I'm 3 credits away from graduating university. I'm 170 pounds. I'm growing every single day and trying to be the best version of myself. Coaching career, I've coached obviously in Sudbury, Thunder Bay, Team Northern Ontario, all kinds of different things, and it's super exciting for me again to work with some of these athletes that I've worked with in different capacities over these next 8 weeks. And my personal goal is to educate and empower athletes so that they can pursue whatever they want. My goal for you at the end of this course is to have the tools and the confidence that you need to pursue whatever you want. The nice thing about this group is it's a lot of baseball players. Maybe you have goals of playing college baseball. Maybe you have goals of playing professional baseball. That's awesome. My goal is to give you the tools to help you get to that point. Now, nothing's gonna be perfect. Okay, we have a map drawn out for you right here. We have 8 weeks, but here's what we have to understand. Things aren't gonna move linear like this in our lives, okay? And as we go through these 8 weeks, you're gonna start to see obstacles and challenges and all those things. They're actually there to help make us stronger and more resilient people. So I hope this is in your workbook. I recommend you look through it, kind of get an idea of what you're gonna be getting into over these next 8 weeks. It's about 65 to 70 pages, that workbook. Like I said, we put a lot of work into it, so I really hope you enjoy it. But what you put into that workbook is what you're going to get out of it. Okay, you can come into this program, you can sit here for these 8 weeks, these 30-minute sessions, and you can go through the program. Or you can take the 30 minutes afterwards to go through the workbook and improve and learn and grow through the program. There's a difference there. You can either go through the program or grow through the program. What you put into this is what you're going to get out of it. So I suggest put in that work and find ways. And if you have questions along the way, there's a chat feature in here. We can always send messages. You're able to raise your hand if you have something to say out loud. I respect that not everybody wants to use their voice, and that's cool. Okay, that's why there's a chat feature here. But if you have questions along the way, you need to ask them so that I can answer them. Okay, but again, just look through that workbook. You're going to find some exciting stuff in there. And we're going to hop right into basically level 1, as we're calling it, right after we explain. So this program, it's 8 weeks to being the best version of yourself. What you put into it is what you're going to get out. The 8 keys of peak performance we're going to talk about next. Some of you might know that as the 10 pillars of mental performance. I've kind of revamped those, changed them up a little bit. But if you understand the 8 keys to peak performance and you live them, that's another tool in your toolkit. When you think about a baseball player, you have someone that hits for power, hits for contact, speed, a good fielder, a great arm. That's a 5-tool player. If you use these 8 keys to unlock your full potential of peak performance, you're going to unlock that mental part of your game right there. It's just another tool. It's just another skill. So we're going to talk about those. And again, we're gamifying being the best version of ourselves moment to moment. So right at the start of your workbook, there's a little breakdown. It says best self, worst self. On one side, it says best self. Other side, it says worst self. I want you to start by getting clear on who you are at your best and your worst. For me, when I'm at my worst, I'm spending a lot of time on this thing, scrolling my phone, doing things I shouldn't be doing. When I'm at my best, I'm reading. I'm focused on learning. I'm focused on growing. I'm being positive. I'm being energetic. When I'm at my worst self, I'm being negative. I'm being pouty. I'm not eating good food. I'm not getting good sleeps, things like that. So I need you to get clear on who you are at your best and your worst, so that we can recognize when we're starting to veer towards being the worst version of ourselves. Also, how would someone describe you when you're like that? Are they going to call you lazy? Are they going to call you pouty? Are they going to call you energetic or happy? What's that going to look like for you? Write down as many examples as you can that remind you of what your best self and your worst self is. And then again, when you're in a day-to-day situation and maybe you find yourself, from like me, scrolling your phone and doing things you shouldn't be doing, it's like, oh, here comes my worst self. I got to figure this out so I can move forward and get back to being my best self. It all comes back to the 8 keys of peak performance. This is going to be one of your pieces of homework, is to work to memorize these 8 keys to peak performance. Now, again, I'm not trying to make this feel like school, but these 8 keys are all the skills that come within mental performance. If we think about mental performance, that's a toolkit. Inside that toolkit is all of these keys right there. So we have our elite mindset, our motivation and commitment, our focus and awareness, our self-control and discipline, our process over outcome mentality. We have meditation and mental imagery. We talk about routines and habits. And a big one, time management. This is all in your workbook, but I want you to work towards memorizing those 8 things, because if you can understand and you can bring awareness to those 8 keys, they're going to help to make more sense down the road as we actually start to dive into them. And again, there's 4 stages to everybody's buy-in journey. Right now, you might be in this course because your parents signed you up and you're just like, you know what, this isn't for me. And that's fine. But what's going to happen is, as we talk over these next couple of weeks, as you hear me bringing energy, as you see other people in this program growing through this program, you're going to look at them and you're going to say, you know what, I guess it's okay for others. And again, that's completely fine. But then what's going to happen is you're going to keep going through the program and you're going to see more improvement from these other people, and you're going to say, maybe I'll try it. And you know what happens when you try it? You're going to turn around and you're going to say, you know what, I'll never do this any other way. I want you to reflect on where you are in this program right now. If you're at stage 1 and this isn't for you right now, that's fine. But I want you to reflect on what it's going to take to get you up 1 level. I'm not trying to get you all the way to I'll never do this any other way right now. I'm trying to get you from stage 1 to stage 2, or stage 2 to stage 3, or stage 3 to stage 4. So reflect on what that's going to take. Is it going to take more success in your practices and your games? Is it going to take more? You need to see professional baseball players do it. You need to see professional hockey players do it. What's it going to be that's going to get you to the next stage of player progression? And this is the cornerstone, the number 1 tool of this entire program, the HabitShare app. Some of you might already be familiar with this. I think I follow a couple of you on here, which is super cool. This is literally the backbone, and this is what I'm talking about when I say gamify being the best version of yourself. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to switch what I'm presenting, and I am going to pull up my HabitShare app to kind of show you what I'm talking about here. So right here, we call this a success checklist. This is my personal success checklist on HabitShare right here. This is basically all of the things that I commit to doing each and every single day. And it's really simple. If I don't do something, I check it red. If I do something, I check it green. It's like a game. We want to have more greens than reds. Now, as you can see right here with this row, we're not always going to be perfect. Okay? We can't strive for perfection. We can only strive to be present. Okay? We could strive to do the work that we say we're going to do. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. So when you download this HabitShare app, what you're going to do is you're going to work to make this personalized to you, which we're going to get into a couple slides from now. I'm going to show you a quick rundown of how this app works before we move forward. After you download it, you're going to create an account, an email, password, whatever. Then you're going to go up to the top corner. This can all be done from your smartphone. You press the add button. You type in whatever your habit is. So let's say, example, it's making my bed, which we're going to talk about. You can share it with any of the friends that you have on there. I have my link on there so that you can all add me. I hope that you all do. I would ask that you all do. And then it hops up. So right there, once you share your habits with me, I can pop up and I can see, all right, my friend Devin says he's going to have his protein goal. Did he do it today? He hasn't checked it out yet, but maybe tomorrow I'll check in and see. So it's about holding each other accountable. And if you have friends in this program with you, if you have other people that you know in this program, also add them on the HabitShare app, because you can hold each other accountable to doing the things that you say you're going to do. Maybe you guys compete. Maybe you want to do 20 push-ups a day, whatever your goal is. And I don't know who's in here. Let's see. Maybe Braden wants to do 20 push-ups every day, and Camden says, hey, Braden, you didn't do your 20 push-ups today. Now you're holding each other accountable. You don't want to let each other down. So you can start to add each other on this app, and you can start pushing each other to be better. Okay, and again, you should all add me. My HabitShare link's there. You all add me. I'll be able to hold you accountable. I'll be able to see some of the things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. And that's how we're going to grow through this program, is coming up with some of these ideas right here. So I have 3 non-negotiable habits, 3 things that you need to add before you add anything else. Number 1, make your bed. Why do I care if you make your bed? Who cares? Here's the reason why you make your bed in the morning. Okay, it's a small victory first thing, and it compounds into greater things. Okay, if you wake up in the morning, your feet hit the ground, you just leave your bed a mess, well, guess what? The next task you do is probably going to be a mess too, and it's going to carry on to the rest of your day with more and more messes, more and more unfinished work. But if you wake up in the morning and your feet hit the ground and you make that bed nice and tight and you make it look really, really good, you move on to that next task. And here's what happens. Even if you have a terrible day, even if nothing goes right, at least you come home at the end of the day to a nice made bed, knowing you accomplished something that day. Making your bed's an accomplishment. Take pride in that and do it every single day. I don't know if you noticed on my HabitShare, where are we here? 284 straight days of making my bed. That's hotel rooms, that's on the road, that's anywhere. It doesn't matter. Excellence in small things is excellence in all things. Let me repeat that one more time. Excellence in small things is excellence in all things. So take pride in doing those little things. Next non-negotiable habit. Say something positive to yourself in the mirror. Positive affirmations are king. Okay, how many of you in performance, maybe you're at the plate, you're throwing pitches, whatever it is, and you have that voice in your head starting to tell you you're not good enough. That voice in your head telling you that you can't throw a strike. That voice in your head telling you that pitcher's throwing too hard, whatever it is. We need to condition ourselves with positive self-talk each and every single day. Now that could be something as simple as you look in the mirror while you're brushing your teeth and you say, you look great today. Or it could be something more in depth, like, I'm a great learner. I work hard in everything I do. I'm focused on the task at hand. Find something positive to say to yourself. Some days I'll do a full 3-minute speech in the mirror just to amp myself up, just to fire myself up. We're going to get into pre-game routines and all that stuff down the road. But before you all came in here, do you notice the music playing? I had music playing. I was giving myself positive self-talk. I was doing some meditation. I was getting myself ready for this moment right here. So back to the point, say something positive to yourself in the mirror. It's going to gear your self-talk to be more positive in everything you do. And number 3, non-negotiable. Write down something you're grateful for each and every single night. Now that could be done in your notes app, that could be done Google Docs, that could be done on pen and paper. Whatever you want to do, you make it your own. But I want you to write down one thing that you're grateful for. And that could be something as small as having clean drinking water, right? You're literally able to drink water whenever you guys want. There's people in this world who don't have the chance to do that. You have a roof over your head, you have a bed, you get to go to school, you get to play sports, whatever it is. Write down something you're grateful for, because if you're grateful and you show gratitude, you're going to be happier. And that's what it's all about. Again, it's not just about our sport. It's about pushing ourselves to be happier and better in our lives. Because when we're better in our lives, we're going to be better in our sports. It's all connected. So that's your 3 non-negotiables. One more time. Make your bed. Say something positive to yourself in the mirror and be grateful. These are some other ideas, some things that I've seen from other athletes. I do a daily podcast. It's called Max's Mental Minute. Again, I keep it to about a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes tops. What we call that is spaced repetition. So when you go into this program, you're getting information in 30 minutes, right? You get it once a week. That's just standardized learning. Okay. But we talk about spaced repetition. You listen a little, a lot, or a lot, a little. You could do a little, a lot, or a lot, a little. And that's what we talk about when we're doing my podcast. It's one every single day, a minute, minute 30, and you get something about mental performance each and every day. So Max's Mental Minute, it's on anywhere you get your podcast from. And again, not really a plug because I'm making money off this. It's just something I like doing. I do not make money from my podcast. It's just something that I like doing for athletes, right? Something you get to listen to every single day, minute 30. It's something for me to stay positive to myself too. And I get a lot out of it. So listen, basically going from there, the habit cycle. So your habit cycle, basically, here we go. The event happens. So maybe the official makes a bad call. The action, big body language, self-talk, good. Take a deep breath to release. And what happens there is you have the present moment focus to have a better chance for success. So when we think about this with the habits that we're building, the event, our feet hit the ground, the action, we make our bed, and our power up is we move on to the next task of the day, knowing we accomplished something. So use these 3 steps, the event, the action, and the power up, to help you build your habits. This is the habit formula, the habit cycle right here. So whatever habit you're trying to build, what's going to prompt it? What's the action going to be? And what are you going to gain from it? Very simple here, guys. If you want to be successful, if you want to push to the next level in your sport, in your education, in your lives, we need to follow the words of the great Tom Brady. Do more good, do less bad. It's that simple. When we do more good and we do less bad, we're going to be doing good things. Okay. So this is a very simple exercise that you can do every single day. In your workbook, you have a section for this, a start, stop, continue. What do I need to start doing? What do I need to stop doing? And what should I continue doing to continue going on to growth? So maybe for you, you need to start saying positive affirmations to yourself in the mirror. You need to stop scrolling TikTok for 3 hours and wasting your time. And maybe you need to continue eating well, whatever it is. But if you do that reflection every single day, you're going to be getting rid of those bad habits and those things that you shouldn't be doing that aren't helping you get to your next level. They aren't helping to bring you happiness. They aren't helping to bring you joy. They aren't helping to make you better baseball or hockey or football or basketball or whatever sports you're playing. You can repeat this process as often as you like. For me, I make it part of my nightly routine. What do I need to start doing? What do I need to stop doing? What do I need to continue doing? And again, like I said, Tom Brady, I was never a fan of him when he played, but you can't argue that he's one of the most accomplished football players ever. And if he says do more good, less bad, I think that's a pretty good piece of advice for us to take. And it all comes back to this, Arete. Some of you have seen the tattoo right here on my forearm. I actually, again, I don't know what's going on with the pictures tonight. I had the picture right here of that same tattoo. What does this word mean? It means excellence or being the best version of yourself, moment to moment. So this reminder on my forearm, Arete right here, is my reminder to do everything with excellence. That word is something that I want to be stapled in the back of your mind. I've had players get their gloves engraved with Arete on the inside of their glove. I've had players get the tape on their bat and write it down because it's their reminder to do everything with excellence and be the best version of themselves moment to moment. It's all about closing the gap, like I have in this little graphic right here, from who we are to who we're capable of being. We're always trying to close that gap and be the best version of ourselves. Here's the cool part. We're never actually going to meet. That's never going to happen. The bar just keeps getting raised, and we need to keep raising our other bars so that we can keep getting better and better and better. We need to be coachable. We need to put the team first. We need to understand that talent does not beat hard work. We need to be the best that we can be by controlling the controllables. We need to be good teammates. We have to have high character, be good people, and ultimately live and do everything with Arete. One more time, right here. Show it on the screen. I was hoping to have it on my picture there. Arete. Everything we do it with excellence, trying to be the best version of ourselves from moment to moment. One more time, close that gap. Who we are, who we're capable of being, never touching, always trying to be better. You've made it to your first boss level. We are flying through this content, which is great. It's actually funny. So, I mean, we talk about nothing going perfect. We can't expect things to go perfect. I hop in here for this session. I look at my battery level and it was draining very quickly. And I realized that I didn't have my charger because I am not at my house. So perfect that we flew through the material. We're going to be at that 30-minute mark, just like I hoped. But boss level, at the end of every single chapter, you're going to face a boss, right? You defeat that boss, you're welcome to move on to the next level. So here's all the things that you need to do between now and our session next week. You need to create your habit share app. You need to add me and any of your friends or accountability partners. That could be your brother, sister. That could be your parents. That could be your teammates. That could be just me. If that's all you're comfortable doing right now, that's fine. But I want you to add 3 to 5 meaningful habits. You have your 3 non-negotiables. Make your bed, positive affirmations in the mirror, and gratitude. You add those 3, I challenge you to add 1 or 2 more things and make it your own. Maybe that's getting 50 swings off the tee. Maybe that's doing your band exercises, your mobility work, eating a certain amount of meals, eating a certain amount of protein, drinking a certain amount of water. Whatever that's going to look like for you, we're going to get into some more things throughout these 8 weeks that you can add to your habit share, to your success checklist. I want you to also memorize those 8 keys to peak performance: the elite mindset, motivation and commitment, focus and awareness, self-control and discipline, process over outcome, meditation and mental imagery, routines and habits, and time management. I want to memorize those 8 keys because those are my 8 keys to peak performance, and that's in my toolbox right there. I want to execute at least one start, stop, continue. What do I need to start doing? What do I need to stop doing? And what do I need to continue doing? And this is going to be a common theme. You're going to close the gap, and we're going to live with Arete. It doesn't matter if it's in your practices, your schoolwork, you're just riding the bus to school, you're just riding in the car to hockey practice. It doesn't matter. Everything we do We do it with Arete. We do it with excellence. Find ways to grow. Find ways to improve. And over these 8 weeks, we're going to talk about some tools that maybe you've never thought of. One more. Oh, there goes my microphone. One more thing I wanted to add. I sent out an intake form. Okay. This has a bunch of questions. Basically, it's a reflection for you to look within yourself at some of these things and kind of get an idea of what we're going to talk about. I'm still missing a couple people. People started to fill it out today, which is great. But if you could fill that out, it's going to help you to reflect on what you need to do, what you need to get out of this program. There's a question right at the end. Let me pull it up. Take some time and get crystal clear on your life inside and outside of your sport. What will it look like when we're done working together? You've unlocked yourself, mastered your mind, and you can confidently say that you're the best version of you've ever been. How does it feel? What will you accomplish both short and long term? Dive deep and write everything down that comes to your mind. This is a really good chance for you to reflect on what you're hoping to get out of this program. Okay, so that's your boss level for this week. Again, I like to keep these nice and short, nice and sweet, because I don't want to keep you here all night dreading coming back. Okay, this is it right here. If you want to move into being the best version of yourself, if you want to move into being more confident, more resilient, more focused, it starts with what you do between these sessions. What you get out of it is what you're going to, or what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. So dive in on this boss level, dive in on your habit share, get me added, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week. If nobody has any questions, I'll see you next week, and let's execute today.